Do you really need the brotherhood? Shalom, this is the brother Bud. You're back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachachakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the men that I learned the truth from. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Do you really need the brotherhood? This video is for guys who have a problem with camps, don't want to join a camp, which camps are nothing but another word of saying, a brotherhood. That's really what the camps are. All right, it's a group of brothers joining together, to teach the word, to serve the Lord. Now, you may have had individuals who have been a part of camps before, and they might have felt that they were done unjustly. They might have been hurt by some things that have happened in the camp, and then they left the camp or got kicked out or whatever, for whatever reason, and then they decided to never join the camp again. And then they just turned into these lone wolf guys. Or you may have guys that are individuals who are very introverted, all right? You may have been a very introverted person in the world, and now you're coming into the truth, and you don't want to be amongst different personalities and different kind of brothers, which, that's actually beneficial because this thing is about growth. Or you may just want to be a lone wolf. You may just want to be your own thing, be your own guy, do things how you want to do it, do everything the way you want to do it. You don't want to have to answer to nobody else. You don't want to have to be around nobody else. You just want to do things the way you do it. So, the question for these individuals come up, do you need the brotherhood? And the short answer is yes, all right? Of course. We serve Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The most perfect example I can give you is Yahweh Shah himself. He had the brotherhood, all right? He had his disciples with him, all right? If that's not enough to tell your ass that you need to be learning and growing amongst brothers, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, if you're in a situation where you're forced to be by yourself for the time being, all right, then you endure that. But as a brother, I can speak from the position of going out by myself. When I first came into the truth, I was by myself. But when the opportunity presented itself to be amongst the brotherhood, to join a camp, that's what happened. I joined the camp. So, I can speak from experience from that. And I could just go straight to the scriptures, which is what I'm about to do, to show you how important the brotherhood is within our nation, within our heritage. It has always been a part of us as men, growing as men and leaders. To be a great leader, you have to be an even better follower. All right. So let me get, and manhood and brotherhood goes hand in hand. All right. The scriptures tell you what iron sharpeneth iron. You need one another to build each other up. But let me go over let's go to Exodus. Yeah, let's start with Exodus, the 18th chapter. And let's go to when Moses was leading us out of, he delivered us from the hands of our enemies, all right? The Canaanites, them stinking ass Hamites, the ancient Egyptians, all right? He led us out of ancient Egypt. And we were starting to build ourselves as a nation, all right? What you know as the nation of Israel today. Remember, the nation of Israel, Yasharallah, is a people before it's a place, and it starts with the men first and foremost. But Moses couldn't deal with, all those people by himself. He needed what? A brotherhood. So let's get Exodus chapter 18, verse, let me see. We can start at verse 17. Exodus chapter 18, verse 17. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. So as great as Moses is, none of us brothers can fill Moses' seat. That's King David. That's Peter. All right, if you have eyes to see, ears to hear. And here it is, the Lord put the spirit on his father-in-law Jethro to tell Moses, this great man Moses, that he can't perform this great work by himself. All right, he needs brothers to finish this task, to do it to the standard that Yahweh wants it to be done. This is Exodus chapter 18, verse 19. It says, hearken now unto my voice, I will give thee counsel, and Yahweh shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Yahweh forward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto Yahweh. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Yahweh, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s. So Jethro said, look, get you men that are able to do the task, help you with the task that Yahweh has set before you. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has set before you. Set up some of them to be rulers over thousands, set up some of them to be rulers over hundreds, set up some of them to be rulers over 50s, and set up some of them to be rulers over 10s. Right? Verse 22, and let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. So the great matters, if it was something that the brothers, the rest of the brothers, which became the Levitical priesthood, couldn't handle, then they would bring it to Moses. But majority of the time, the men that was under Moses handled the things that were able to be handled within their own power, man. So Moses needed a brotherhood. Moses needed a camp. Keep in mind, we set up camp. That's what the tabernacle was. All right? The tabernacle, when you go into the word tabernacle, let me get the etymology of tabernacle real quick. Let me see. Let's go to the etymology of tabernacle. And it says a portable sanctuary carried by the Israelites in the wilderness, especially a tent, a booth, and that's really what it is. That's really what the brotherhood is. All right. It is a camp. All right. It's a dwelling, and it's not just a place, all right? So even though the land of Israel right now is being trodden down of the Gentiles, the land of Israel is a people before it's a place. So the kingdom is with the brotherhood, the elect brotherhood already, all right? Wherever the elect go, that's where the kingdom is at, because that's where the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua dwells, all right? The tabernacle, we will pick it up and move to another place. The place that we were there before, that don't make it the chosen place, all right? The elect chosen men that were set up to rule makes it a chosen, a chosen area for that time period. If you get the point I'm trying to get across. So Moses needed a brotherhood, all right, to lead the tabernacle, all right? and since I brought out how Moses is King David, let's get Amos chapter 9. Let's get Amos chapter 9, verse 11. And it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So if the tabernacle of David is being built up in the last days, risen back up in the last days, just like Moses needed men, a brotherhood, so in this time will brotherhood be needed to raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen. Now we can go to King David as an example of what he did, of what he needed, right? Let's hit a quick point with David, because we all know about David's mighty men, right? So let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 25, just to nail it on the head real quick. Go straight to the point. This is 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 12, right? It says, "So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those things. And David said unto his men, Gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the staff." All right? And we know that David had mighty men. David had men that were with him, all right, when he was fleeing from Saul. David had men with him when he built up the kingdom, all right, as King David, when he was actually ruling as a king, all right, because those men that followed him became officers. David had officers. David had generals, commanders, all right. Just to get two quick examples of that, staying touching on David, let's get First Chronicles. Let's go over to First Chronicles, chapter 27. Let's start at verse 1. It says, "Now the children of Israel, after their number, to wit, the chief fathers and captains of thousands and hundreds, and their officers that served the king in any matter of the courses, which came in and went out month by month throughout all the months of the year, of every course were 24,000. All right. And then it goes on to name how this captain ruled over this, that captain ruled over that. All right. When you read First Chronicles, the 27th chapter, it goes on to tell you about all the captains, all right, that David had working under him. All right. We can go over to another quick example. 2 Samuel, the 8th chapter, I believe. Let's go to 2 Samuel, the 8th chapter. Let's go to verse 15. Yeah, this is 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 15. "And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the host, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder." So Joab was the recorder, right? "And Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, right, the son of Abiathar, were the priests, and Sariah was the scribe. And Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, was over both the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief rulers." So he had a brotherhood. He had a great brotherhood working amongst him, working under him. And you need that, all right, when you're building a kingdom, all right, when you're sovereign, when you're ruling, right? And men are going to disagree. Men are going to have their disagreements. Men are going to have their fights. Men are going to have things they don't always agree on. And with that, you may get the short end of the stick sometimes, all right? Things ain't going to always go your way, but you can't demonize the brotherhood. You can't demonize the camps. You can't demonize the tabernacle. You can't demonize brothers and say, the camps are wicked. I don't need a brotherhood. I'm a lone wolf, because you're hurt. Because that's not how things operate, all right? That's not how the Lord operates. The Lord doesn't deal with effeminate emotions, all right? He deals with men who are willing to get the job done that he has set before them, okay? And the job that he has set before us in this time is to preach the word, to raise up the tabernacle of David that has fallen through his spirit and power, to help with building the spiritual temple, being lively stones. And it ain't just one stone that builds a temple, all right? You need many stones, all right, to make the building complete, all right? You have the cornerstone, which is Yahushua, and the rest of the stones in their proper order get laid down to make a strong foundation, and we build our way on up, all right? But going back to the main example that I gave in the beginning with Yahushua, well, Yahushua went and sought out a brotherhood, right? Yahweh Shah went out and sought out a brotherhood, and what did he say to those men? Let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4, and let's see what we want. This is Matthew chapter 4, and let's start at verse 18. It says, And Yahweh Shah, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he saith unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So we're fishing out. We're fishing for men. We're fishing out brothers. We're fishing, to complete this brotherhood, right? That's very important. The brotherhood is very important. It's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing of our nation, man. Okay? Of course, besides Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah and the truth, of course that comes first, but the brotherhood, is up there, man. And the Lord said, follow him, and he'll make you fishers of men. And what did Paul tell us in 1 Corinthians? I believe it's the 11th chapter. Yeah, right here. He says, verse 1, Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And Paul was writing these letters to who? The churches. What is the church? The congregation of saints, of brothers who believe, man. All right? So the brotherhood is extremely important. So to answer your question, do you really need the brotherhood? Of course, man. So if you're able to join the brotherhood, you're able to go out to a camp, right? If you have a camp an hour away, an hour and 30 minutes away, all right? Because there's damn near a camp in every major city in America, all right? There's no excuse. You go and you be amongst the brotherhood, all right? The congregation, the church, all right? So I just wanted to touch on that. Didn't want to make this too long. Hopefully it was edifying. Until the next time I say shalom.